Today, we've got a story for you. And honestly, it might just change how you see yourself. It's this classic tale about identity, our surroundings, and, that hidden power we all have deep down inside.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever just felt like you were meant for more? You know that feeling? That little voice in the back of your head saying, hey, this isn't all there is. Yeah, hang on to that feeling. It's going to be important.
All right, so let's dive in. Our story kicks off with a pretty wild case of mistaken identity. We're about to meet a creature with immense power, but he's living a life that is so wrong for him.
Okay, so picture this. Deep in the jungle, a lioness has a cub, but then, tragically, she dies right after. So now, you've got this tiny lion cub totally confused, all alone, and just completely vulnerable. And then, just as things look really bad, a flock of sheep wanders by. The little lost cub just kind of falls in with them and starts this brand new life. And I mean, he completely assimilates. He starts grazing on grass, never even thinks about meat. He has zero idea he's a lion, so why would he ever even try to roar?
I mean, think about that for a second. The cub's whole world, it's just sheep. That's his family, that's what he eats, that's his entire reality. So what else is he going to think? Of course he starts to believe he's a sheep too. His identity wasn't about what he was born to be, it was shaped completely by the world he was dropped into.
So, time goes on. The lion cub grows up into this young, strong lion who, you guessed it, still thinks he's a sheep. But oh man, everything is about to get shaken up. There's an unexpected encounter on the horizon.
So you've got this old, wise lion just strolling through the jungle, and he sees something that makes him do a double take. It's this absolutely magnificent young lion, grazing and bleeding right alongside a flock of sheep. He's just totally baffled. He's got to figure out what in the world is going on here.
So what does the old lion do? He charges the flock. Now, he's not trying to hurt anyone, he's just trying to get a reaction. And boy, does he get one. The sheep just scatter in pure terror, and who's running right there with them, feeling the exact same panic? Our young lion. It's just absolute pure fear. He's literally running for his life, not from some predator, but from another lion, his own kind. Can you even imagine how confusing that must be? His entire world is just falling apart in that moment.
Okay, so the chase doesn't last long. The old lion corners him, and this is the turning point of the whole story. A huge confrontation is about to go down. But it's not really with the old lion. It's with the young lion's idea of who he is.
The young lion is a mess. He's trembling, he's crying, and he's begging the old lion, "Please just let me go. I'm just a sheep." I mean, he is 100% convinced of this. He truly, deeply believes that he's weak and totally helpless.
The old lion, he gets it now. He sees what's happened, and he doesn't argue, he doesn't give some big speech. He just gently guides the young lion over to a calm river and says something super simple, but so powerful. Look at yourself in the water. And wow, for the very first time in his life, the young lion actually sees his own reflection. And what does he see? Not a sheep, no. He sees a powerful mane, sharp teeth, the fierce eyes of a lion. The difference is just staggering. On one hand, the weak, scared sheep he thought he was, and on the other, the powerful, brave lion staring back at him.
That one look, that one moment, it changes absolutely everything. It's like a spark that just ignites something that's been asleep his whole life. It's time to find that roar inside. So, filled with this completely new understanding of who he is, he opens his mouth and lets out this massive, earth-shaking roar that just echoes through the whole jungle. That sound? That's the sound of his true self finally breaking free. And in that one moment, with that very first roar, he feels this incredible surge of strength that he never, ever knew he had. It's a total awakening. He finally gets it. He finally recognizes his own power, his real identity.
And right here, this is the core of the whole story. Living like a sheep was never his reality. It was a mental trap. You know, it's like that voice of imposter syndrome telling you you're not good enough, or that fear that says you could never start your own thing. His situation didn't define him. What he believed about his situation did. The potential was always there. It was just buried under a really bad assumption.
So this all brings us right back to that question I asked you at the very beginning. Because, let's be real, This story isn't just about a lion, right? It's really a message for every single one of us about unleashing our own power. What this story is really saying is that a lot of us, well, we're like that lion. We get caught in these mental traps, surrounded by our own flock. Things like what society expects, or our job culture, or even just that nagging inner critic. All that stuff can make us afraid and limit what we think is possible. Our potential is huge, but sometimes we just learn to act small.
Okay, so how do we break free? The story actually gives us a pretty clear roadmap. Step 1, you've got to recognize the sheep around you, those limiting beliefs or negative environments. Step 2, you have to consciously shake off that feeling of weakness, that idea that you're not enough. Then, you look inside yourself to find out what you're really capable of. And finally, the last step, you embrace that power. You own it. And the promise here is just so powerful. It says that when you do this, when you finally see yourself for who you really are, you're going to find your roar. You're going to find your true self. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. It's time to look in your own river. What false reflection have you been looking at? What's the mental trap, that belief that you're just a sheep, that's holding you back from unleashing the lion you were always meant to be?